this what celebrities have to do to stay famous?
Do you rather option one and become an industry plant celebrity of the profession of your choice? You can choose to become a singer, actor, influencer, you name it, and you'll get at least $10 million a year. You will be quite busy though, and you won't get much rest, but you will amass millions of fans who constantly express their adoration towards you. You also get access to the very best medical. Your physical condition will be pristine, but in order for you to receive any of these benefits, you have to join the secret order of the Seventh Night, that is solely responsible for giving you all of these benefits. This group only requires that you meet with them 3 times a year to participate in their rituals deep in the woods. In these rituals, you'll be blindfolded, and you will perform ritualistic sacrifices while reciting this unknown language. You assume that you're sacrificing goats or lambs, but it's hard to tell because you were forced to inhale this strange gas beforehand, which makes your memory go a little fuzzy. But you can't help but notice that every time you leave one of these rituals, you feel like a piece of you is missing, and in its place is something more sinister, something that makes you feel more hollow. And if you ever plan on leaving this group or get any funny idea about exposing the secret to your fame, they will replace you with a near-identical replica to carry out the remainder of your days so they can still make a profit off of you. And you'll be locked away forever, living the remainder of your days in confinement, knowing your replica is out there hugging your children and kissing your spouse. But if you want to keep this beautiful life that they've so generously given you, just do what you're told and keep your mouth shut. Or would you rather option 2, never be stuck in traffic again?
A 5-legged human-faced ibex was observed in a remote region of the Austrian Alps. Legend has it that if the ibex has an owner and the owner passes away, the ibex takes the face of its former owner. This specimen is unique, however, as it also has 5 legs. I spoke to a local psychic who indicated there are ancient prophetic texts that speak of a 5-legged human-faced ibex. Unfortunately, the prophetic text is torn, so it remains unclear whether the world will end in 12 months or enter a state of prosperity. There has been no official statement from the Austrian government.
Weird.
You can kind of see.
Okay. What's in that Starbucks can?
Dude, this is so nasty.
Put the predicts down below. What's in it?
Literally just tried to drink your energy drink, open it this morning, hoping you can get some nice energy.
What is it?
Oh, that's so big.
Like
What the?
I don't maybe barely keep it standing up and then.
Oh my god. There's a freaking. I have tweezers in my food.
Oh please. Is that a rat?
Maybe dump it in the top of the thing. Let's see here.
It's all the liquid out. So,
Oh my god, are those the eyes?
mm-hmm. Where? No, that's poop. That's freaking poop. There's freaking poop in there.
Oh my god, it's a
Sue.
big mouse.
Yeah, it's a big ass.
Shut up, shut up, shut up. This is so nasty. You need to leave the sound on this video.
God. Oh no, Sue, we need some money, bro.
Oh. Oh my god. No. 2 people.
Ew. How did these mouths be getting into these entity drinks, bro? This is the first clip we seen, man, of something of a mouse or rat getting into a drink, bro. I have no idea how that happens, man. They need to check their factories or something.
phone to film his sleeping wife. What he captured wasn't cute, according to viewers. The video went viral within hours at first. Everything looks calm. She's lying still, breathing slowly. Then you notice it. Her eyes move, her lips try to form words. She's trying to scream, but nothing comes out. This is sleep paralysis. Her body can't move. Her voice is gone. She's awake but trapped. And this is where it gets worse. People who experience this often see things, dark shapes, figures standing near the bed, something pressing on the chest, sometimes even whispering. She later said she felt watched, like something was inches from her face. But there's one detail most people don't know. There is a way out. Doctors say if you can move your toes just slightly, the signal reaches the brain and the body wakes up. She did, but many people don't know this trick, and that's why these episodes feel so real. Have you ever experienced sleep paralysis?
Sleep paralysis is one of the most scariest things that can happen to you. I think that happened to me only twice. I woke up in the middle of the night, face down. I'm trying to move. I'm like, what the heck? I'm tethered. I figured arm or leg to move, but nothing's happening, bro. So I had to calm down, take a couple of deep breaths. And then I finally, okay, I said, let's move my leg. And then everything else, it just snapped back, bro. But that happened to me only twice, man. And let me tell you, that's a scary experience, Seekers. Scary.
Told me I was crazy when I told him the clouds might be man-made and used to block out the sun. So look, use this video when they try to call you crazy.
Hey, I don't know if y'all know this, but I actually work in a cloud factory. We create clouds and make rain for the city of Chicago. The government doesn't want you to know this. We control the climate.
So now if you have a thought, you can literally be thinking about a bicycle and don't mention it.
And you can open your phone up on Facebook, and what's the first suggestion you will see? A bicycle ad. And you wondering, I didn't talk about this. I thought it. Why is it in my phone? Because these things are reading the brain waves and pattern. Your brain waves is a sequence. It's like a sequel. It's a mathematical equation. If you build some type of software to read that mathematical equation, then you can translate it into the exact image or English that you need it to be, and I can tell you what you was thinking. See, I ain't been doing this on people for the longest. It's a movie called Eraser. Have y'all ever seen Eraser where they had all this technology and see through walls? I think Arnold Schwarzenegger played it, I believe. Go back and watch that movie. This movie's probably born. I was born in 1988. They was showing you this technology. So these things do exist, and it's all for greed and to drive a sale. So if I can take a phone, right, and my phone can read your brain patterns, or if I can get your genome sequence, there's no reason why if you get a new phone and you really read through all of those privacy act laws, then you are giving over your thoughts, you're giving over your privacy, you're giving over your camera. They take pictures every millisecond. This thing take about 3 pictures of you, and you can turn off the lights and use a UV light and it'll show the phone taking pictures. The phone is constantly recording your conversation, seeing the things you like. The actual grid inside the phone and the circuit breaker is remembering.
Oh, would you look at that, y'all? Apollo 8, December 24th, 1968. Take a look at the clouds right there. And then over here, Artemis 2, April 6th, 2026. Uh-oh, NASA. Did you forget to move the clouds? They didn't change? What, 58 years, something like that? And they didn't. The clouds are in the exact same formation. 58 years later. Oh, NASA, you got some splaining to do.
Want underage teens to have babies? Look at what the Fox News host just said.
We'll have 3.6 million births a year, but the problem is teens and young adults. From ages 15 to 19, the fertility rate is down 7%, and it's down 70% over the last 2 decades, meaning we're telling people that are young not to have babies, to wait till they're in a more stable life situation, till they're financially secure. Maybe they haven't found the right one.
So basically what he's saying is he's blaming low birth rates on really young adults from the age of 15 to 19. 15 to 19. That's why people going crazy over this. It's because it's making it seem like he's saying he wants 15 to 19-year-olds to be popping these babies out. First of all, I thought we didn't want young teens to be getting pregnant. Second of all, the economy is ass. Everything right now is overpriced.
Preach.
Rent, food, gas, everything. But what you're telling me is you want these people to have children so they can be suffering too? Oh, I get it. You want people to work minimum wage. You need people to do the low-income jobs. You think that the teens that's having babies will up their life to where they're going to need the government. Because you know, a baby having a baby don't make sense. They're still trying to get their life together. I'm not saying they're not good moms, but 9 times out of 10, they still have room to grow on their careers and everything. So why have a child? So y'all let me know how y'all feel about this down below in the comments.
Tell me down below.
Seems that mind reading technology is actually here and has been for a while now. Last year, Apple applied for a patent for these AirPods that can read your thoughts. Here's a copy of the patent right here, filed July 20th, 2023. Essentially works just like an EEG would, where they hook up all those little wires to your brain and monitor your brain waves. Only with this, it doesn't have to be hooked up to your head. It works by little sensors in the ear. And although they filed this patent in 2023, they supposedly have been doing studies on this for the past 5 years. But this really isn't a new technology. Just haven't heard of it. Really not that hard to find information about this. If you just do a little quick Google search, there's tons of information about it. I do encourage you to do your own research. Not believe everything that you hear on the internet or TikTok. But right here it says Apple filed a patent for AirPods brain decoding signals which could be used to monitor thought data. I'd really never heard the term thought data before, but I guess that's what we're gonna call it now. Not mind reading, it's thought data. That's how they're gonna normalize this. But there is nothing normal about this in my opinion. I get that it's technology and like the world's gonna evolve and all that, but the idea of thought data or the idea that a company is reading my mind is a huge invasion of privacy. I can't think of any reason why this would be useful. This is creepy, it's weird, and I don't like it at all.
Fine.
Hey man, see, cause actually, I recommend, bro, y'all don't have use the wireless AirPods or headphones, man. Go back to wire, bro. Hard connection is the best way to go. That's actually crazy, man. That Apple put patent out for the AirPods so they can read your mind. Like what? Why would they even need that information, bro? So they could just feed you some Apple ads, bro? What? Come on, man.
Scientists just created a male birth control that actually works, and some guys are already saying no to it because it threatens their masculinity. So basically, scientists just officially created a male birth control that actually works. There are no hormones, there's no side effects, and it reverses itself in 6 weeks.
The idea of male-focused birth control has been a hot topic for a while, but researchers have struggled because the science is complex. Now, scientists at the Salk Institute say they've actually made a breakthrough.
Now, this is where it gets crazy, because the last time that they tried this, guys actually quit the study because of mood swings and acne. Meanwhile, women have obviously been already dealing with those exact same side effects from their birth control for 66 years now. That obviously includes mood swings, weight gain, and blood clots, but nobody stopped that. But it gets even better, because there is actual research right now showing that some guys won't take the male birth control because it threatens their masculinity. The science is right there, and guys are saying no because it makes them feel less manly. So that's insane. It's not out yet, but the company is saying that they're trying to launch it within 2 years, and it could just be a shot every 3 months or a patch. Women have been dealing with these side effects for almost 70 years, and guys quit after 3 months.
Imagine standing in front of an angel made from 100,000 real knives. This is the Knife Angel, a 27-foot sculpture in the United Kingdom. Weighing 3.5 tons, it was built entirely from weapons either confiscated by the police or turned in during amnesty programs. The weapons used in the statue were collected from all 43 police forces across the UK. Each one had to be disinfected and blunted before being welded onto the structure. When many arrived from police evidence rooms, they were still sealed in the evidence tubes. A number of them still had traces of blood or bodily fluid that had to be cleaned before being incorporated into the artwork. Today, the Knife Angel tours cities across the UK as a national monument against violence and aggression, created to raise awareness about knife crime and honor the victims affected by it. Somewhere you know.
Okay. Robots in the White House. Ain't that something?
You're gonna want to hear me out, because this story is nuts, and it's incredibly suspicious. And it adds a huge new twist to the mystery of Antarctica. Explorers that were near an area called the Danger Zone saw what they were told was an iceberg, a dirty iceberg, and that they need to stay away from it. Except, it turns out it's not an iceberg, it's an island. An island in that Antarctica area, within miles of Antarctica, that no one has ever been allowed to go to because it's in the danger zone of icebergs. Even though it was never an iceberg, it's an island. So a team of researchers, explorers, scientists, whatever you want to call them, took their ship within 150 meters of this thing, this iceberg that they were told never to get near. And then they could see why. Because it's an island, it's an island. And whoever was in charge of that area, or is in charge of that area, didn't want anybody to see it. So what's so important about that island that they would call the area the danger zone and tell people it's a dangerous iceberg that no one's allowed to get near?
Interesting.
This is so shady. This is so shady. There are so many mysteries about Antarctica that the powers to be know, but they ain't sharing, baby. They're not sharing. And this forbidden iceberg that turned out to be an island is just another one of them. Okay, Booshkies, I felt like telling you this story today. Shabadoo, Booshkies. Shabadoo.
So can we talk about what's been going on with Cenat lately? Because I was just scrolling and I noticed something that kind of threw me off. How did he go from looking like this to this? Eyes are just pure black, allegedly. And, you know, shout out to him releasing a new clothing brand, but something also looks off about it as well. Just my opinion. I mean, everything, even down to his body language, looks completely different. He went from doing his own thing on live to going live lots of times with Kevin Hart, and then allowing LeBron James to cut his hair for whatever reason. Now, what's interesting is even his mom said a prayer before cutting his hair. She seemed a little concerned to me.
Heavenly Father, bless my child. You know what he's like. May it not take away anything from him by taking it away. Amen.
Now, this is where it gets interesting. He recently went to a fashion show with Jaden Smith, and a lot of people said that something just wasn't right.
The Red Room. I saw that theory.
Now, some people compared that Are You Ready sign to The Princess and the Frog, where the prince was basically tricked into making a deal with the devil. But, you know, maybe that's just a conspiracy. I don't know, maybe he just elevated to another level. But I definitely feel like something's very off with the imagery in his clothing line. But let me know what y'all think in the comments.
Question.
I was just expanding, bro. On to bigger, I guess, better things, man. He conquered streaming, so he's on to his freaking clothing line, Vivid. Vivet or Vivid. I don't know how you pronounce it, but whenever he drops that thing, man, I feel like, bro, it's gonna be huge. His influence, impact is huge. So you know that clothing brand, it's gonna be big. What do you guys think, bro?
Isn't even if it's real or not. The question is, why are they intentionally showing us videos that are clearly fake? This is supposed to be the Artemis crew on the way to the launch pad. And not only does it very clearly look like intentional bad AI, but people are taking photos of them and they're not in the photo. Look at the screens. They're not even in the photo. Explain to me what that even is a picture of. Where are they? Why are they not in the picture? He's taking a picture, but they're not even on the screen. This is the official video that they showed us. The conversation really isn't even whether it's real or fake. We know the answer. Why are they showing us bad AI on purpose? That doesn't make sense. Like, they know that we're going to dissect these videos. Look at his face. Look at their faces. Like, you can't blame this on video compression. You can screen record a video 50 different ways, and this isn't going to happen if the video is real. There's no debate here. It's not real. And the only ones even defending this whole thing are bots. There are millions of bots in all the Artemis videos right now just saying the same thing. Minus the very obvious blurred faces, they're not on the people's phone screens. There's no debate. It's not real. It didn't happen. But why are they making it so easy for us to figure that out?
Hello?
Hi there, can you open this door, please?
For what?
I just want to make sure that everything's okay. That she's normal.
What do you mean?
I don't know, I just figured I'd check on something.
I don't know what you want, man. Get out of my house.
You crazy.
Where's your daughter, man? Where's your daughter, man?
What are you talking about?
Where's your daughter? Who's in there with you?
Bro, if you don't leave...
Open this door, I'm breaking it down. You understand me?
Leave my house. You don't...
Are you okay? Is everyone in this house okay?
What? Everyone's okay. What do you want?
He on something. He lucky he ain't there, bro. He's just staring menacingly. Oh yeah, he throwing hands, bro. If I'm there, bro. Simple as that.
Can you leave my house, please?
You open the door, please.
You have nothing to do with my house. Can you leave my house?
You know what my name is?
I don't know who you are. You don't belong in this neighborhood. That's for sure.
This is my neighborhood, though.
Yeah, I live there. I don't know you.
My name is Harry Dresden, motherfucker. Open the door. This is my neighborhood. Open the door.
No?
No. Or I will end you. Do you understand me?
Is he laughing? Yeah, he need help. Okay, now he breaking down, bro. He raging now. Bro, what was he on, man? What made him crash out like that, bro? We need the full background story, bro.
Escaped from a zoo enclosure and was looking for one person in particular. In 2005, a 57-year-old woman named Petronella was in love with the zoo's new baby gorilla named Boquito. She'd visit him almost daily since he was just 4 months old, sitting by his enclosure for hours at a time, just staring and smiling at Boquito as he grew older. Zoo officials told her to stop doing that because in the primate world, direct eye contact and showing your teeth is seen as a massive threat. But Petronella thought they had a Disney movie connection and insisted they had a special bond. 2 years later, Petronella was visiting as usual, but this time a group of kids were throwing rocks at Boquito and he finally snapped. He cleared his 11.5-foot moat and suddenly a 400-pound silverback was completely free. But he ignored the kids. He wanted to find Petronella, the woman who had been relentlessly threatening him every single day for the past 2 years. Boquito did track her down and put her in the hospital. And while in the hospital recovering, Petronella said, quote, "He is and remains my darling."
Do you remember the TikToker who was building that almost 7-foot tall animatronic
money.
Yes, the Freddy Fazbear thing might come to life, right?
Bro, literally.
What's the progress?
Mike,
What's the progress?
Oh my god, I thought it was Cap. He's almost done.
Really?
He actually finished the entire body.
I gotta see.
Before I even show you, I'm just going to give a little bit of context for the people who either never heard of this or are not too familiar. So it was this guy on TikTok who goes by the name of Citra, and he has a TikTok page that has like I think 5.5 million at this point, where he's been doing progress report videos showing him build this animatronic robot that he says he wants it to have like a sneak mode and like all these other weird things that he wants to add to this robot that people are saying it's very scary. He says he wants to make it waterproof, fireproof, bulletproof, all of these other crazy things. And recently, it looks like this guy is almost done.
Oh, wow, so he's got like the whole like exoskeleton already done.
The whole exoskeleton done now.
Wow, that looks crazy. It's so big too.
Yeah, it's like 7 foot tall, they said.
Yo, that thing is tall.
I don't know, man. I just look at stuff like this and I go, why?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, even if he doesn't actually make it bulletproof and fireproof, it's like, is this thing still not something you could possibly make dangerous?
Yeah.
Even for just yourself? It doesn't have to be for other people. But, like, you know, it's just such a weird thing to play with, bro.
I've just begun the construction of the upper arms. Just their rough frames right now, just for size. They're roughly 20 inches in length and 8 inches in diameter. I want to dedicate this weekend to building them out and working my way towards attaching them to the shoulders and elbows. The shoulder systems, as of last video, are officially complete.
No, that's crazy.
That's insanity, bro.
That is insane.
That's actually crazy.
We're looking at an injectable fiber that behaves like living tissue, making it perfect for integrating with the human body. The University of Hong Kong has created a soft, biocompatible semiconductor made from hydrogel, a water-rich material that behaves like living tissue. This means the next generation of cyborg technology may not look like copper and steel brain chips. It may look more like artificial nerve webs woven into tissue. This next gen of interfaces are soft enough to sit against the brain without the same harsh mismatch of rigid implants. For people suffering paralysis, this means that an artificial nerve system could soon be injected into the brain and body. And these soft human tissue-like hydrogels will not be rejected by the body's immune system. We are on the verge of a future where machines seamlessly merge with our bodies. This biocompatible, injectable fiber is the future of neural interfaces and implants into the brain.
Okay, here is where we left off last time. This is the world's deadliest rabbit hole. I'm exploring it, taking you with me with no prior research, but we're going to show you guys all the way at the bottom of this page. At the very bottom, we have some more images, right? These are just images. I'm showing these images. They're just some images. I'm just showing you guys a website, right? We're going through it. But this one is a link too, so let's go ahead and click on it. Quick warning, if you have epilepsy, click off it right now. This is where we get led to. You can see why I give the epilepsy warning. This page is also extremely long, and it seems to be comprised of a bunch of like forum posts by somebody named America Jones. We also have like a ton of links that we can go through on this one. It says anime is stupid right here. We're gonna go right here and see what this leads us to. Back to the homepage, so we're gonna go back. I kind of want to see where this label Kanye West leads. It looks like the same page, but it's changed. It's become like a series of messages, like the black and white must be one. I'll see you in the next part.
What do these people got going on? And I have never heard about this before, bro. Texas, all I gotta say is you gotta get ready because apparently you have some emergency tests coming to you today. And she's talking about how Texas always does something like this, bro. But y'all gotta let me know in the comments because I got people in Texas and I've never heard anything like this. But listen to this, bro. What's going on in Texas?
April 2nd, from 10 o'clock in the morning to 12:30 in the afternoon Central Time, there is going to be an emergency test. You have now been warned. Now let me explain why. The Texas Division of Emergency Management is required to do these tests to make sure that their emergency preparedness system is working properly. That's why you're driving on the highway. You might see a sign that says, "Get ready for the emergency preparedness test." They just want everybody to know that on Thursday, April 2nd, they are going to start doing this test. And listen, this is statewide. It's coordinated with each city. These alerts are really important because they let the public know about severe weather, natural disasters, or some sort of public threat. And that's how they can get that information out to the masses and quickly. So you can see these warnings across multiple platforms on Thursday, April 2nd. Again, this is just a test. And what you will also notice is that it actually says test before you start reading the rest of the alert, so you know for sure that it's just a test. I'm talking about school districts, universities, colleges, cities, police, fire, emergency personnel. Everyone is going to be involved in this tomorrow. Again, Thursday, April 2nd, but it's just a test.
Why does she keep emphasizing that it's going to be a test? What is going on? I don't trust these people. And then Texas, has this ever happened to y'all before? I've never heard about this. And why only Texas? Then she says everybody's going to be in on this. Law enforcement, ambulances, colleges, universities, highways, bro. If they were really doing this all the time and the state of Texas is so thorough, why only tell us a day in advance? This came out yesterday. I don't know what's going on, but I thought I need to share this with you guys. Especially I got a lot of people who live in Texas, bro. Y'all need to pass this video on. But Texas, let me know that in the comments below.
80% of the population has lines on their hands that spell out the letter M. Many people believe that this is a sign of good luck. However, 4% of people have an X on their palm. And about 25% of people in the world have something called photic sneeze reflex. This means they can sneeze on command just by looking up at the sun. And 3% of the population has no body odor. Now that's lucky. But about 1% has something called fish odor syndrome.
I would probably quit my job if I was a 911 dispatcher and I received a phone call from an empty funeral home at 3 in the morning. If you guys are easily scared of this kind of stuff, maybe skip through this part or don't watch this at night. This happened in Colorado a few years ago, and it's probably one of the creepiest things I've ever watched because not only did this 911 call go through the first time, but it gets disconnected, so the dispatcher calls back and the call gets answered at the funeral home. I mean, all you can really hear is loud static, but a lot of people have said that they can hear a soft male voice saying send help or help me. I listened to this audio multiple times, okay, and you can actually kind of hear it. But besides these noises, no one actually responds or has a real conversation with the dispatcher. And apparently that's because no one was actually inside the funeral home at that time. The cops arrived to the funeral home shortly after this call was made, and it turns out that it was closed. No one was in there, and they even followed up with the people that worked at this funeral home, and they told them that no one had been in there all night.
So who called?
Here's some crazy history that they didn't teach you in school. Nepal's second to last king spent his entire reign in a coma. The first ever recorded punishment for illegal parking was death, followed by impalement outside of one's home. All of Jimmy Carter's siblings and his father passed away of pancreatic cancer specifically. Lewis and Clark's crew left behind mercury-laced poop so toxic that it was able to help the archaeologists find their campsites. Leonardo da Vinci never gave the Mona Lisa to the person who commissioned it. He kept it with him until he died. There are multiple Mona Lisas that were created by Leonardo da Vinci. Of the 44 original colonists that founded Los Angeles, only 2 of them were white. These are pictures of statues of Vasuki, an African slave who arrived in Japan in 1579 and became the first black samurai. Air Canada used to have dance floors on their planes. This is a picture of tobacco company CEOs declaring under oath that nicotine is not addictive.
We knew that was cap. They was capping with... That was just a cap off, man. They was doing that for the money.
Creepy things you never knew. Bears in Russia sometimes become so hungry in the summer that they become desperate for food and go to cemeteries to feast on the recently buried corpses. In 1977, we received a radio signal from space. It lasted around 42 seconds. To this day, we don't know where that signal came from. If you're ever unsure with meeting up with someone and you want to stay safe, use publicdatacheck.com. It allows you to do background checks on anyone. and even has an unknown phone number lookup for those phone numbers that call you that aren't in your contacts. This has saved a lot of people from weird and strange situations. So check out publicdatacheck.com. If your immune system found out you had eyes, it would attack them until you go blind. In 2002, actor Anthony Starr received a 12-month prison sentence because he had a bar fight in Spain. Witnesses say he drunkenly punched and smashed a bottle on a chef's head, saying to him, "You committed the mistake of your life. I'm going to look for you. I want to you." He managed to avoid jail time by paying the victim $4,000. Now, if you made it to the end of this video, let me tell you a secret. Typing "scream" all lowercase with the bars around it like this will give you a secret emoji down below. Let's see who can actually do it.
We need to talk about how disrespectful this bird is. This is a secretary bird, and they kill prey by kicking them in the head until they either tap out or flatline. They especially violate snakes. They'll river dance on a snake's head until its skull caves in, and the secretary bird can kick with a force 5 times its own body weight. That's like the average man Ronaldoing someone with 900 pounds of force. Their kick is so powerful that they can actually shatter the bones in your hand. Also, they're like 4 feet tall. The secretary bird will stomp around vegetation and bushes just so they can skull snatch anything that tries to escape. They'll also purposely wait around bushfires so that if any small animal tries to run for its life, this bird will take it from it anyway by curb stomping them. And they can wig split their ops in 15 milliseconds, meaning in the time it takes for you to blink, they can strike multiple times. And like I said, they're 100% on site with snakes because they'll smash their heads in until they're either paralyzed or dead and then proceed to eat them. Also, this raptor can fly. Because of course they can. And they do all this while looking like a recently divorced velociraptor that got out of pocket with the child support. This is not a bird, it's Jurassic Park in yoga pants. With a thigh gap, y'all could never. Next time someone tells you dinosaurs went extinct, just remember this African homicide chicken tap dances on the graves of snakes, and anyone else that tries to test it.
Okay. We learned a lesson today. Don't mess with that bird, man. That bird has Black Air Force energy, bro. Noted.
These are some extremely
Where we at night?
This is why you should never sleep next to your phone. In 2019, a girl fell asleep listening to her favorite music on her phone. As most people do, she had her phone plugged into the outlet next to her bed. The next morning, the parents walked in and discovered that the phone that was next to her head had exploded. Before I tell you what happened to her, I found a way to finish your math homework in seconds. Just scan the math problem and it'll give you a solution along with an explanation. Press the button on my profile to try it. She was immediately rushed to the hospital, but unfortunately passed away due to her injuries.
Do not sleep with your phone next to you, in case stuff like
One
that
in
happens.
a Million, Part 7. On the right is the facial reconstruction of a 9,000-year-old skeleton that was found in a cave in Cheddar, England. His DNA was tested, and researchers found that a living relative was teaching history class only a half-mile away from the site, linking back 300 generations. Out of the 40,000 windows within the Twin Towers, only one of them survived 9/11. It's believed to have come from the 82nd floor of the South Tower, one of the 9 floors that was struck by the second plane. The first person to die during the construction of the Hoover Dam was surveyor J.G. Tierney on December 20th, 1922. On the same exact day, 14 years later, the last person died. It was J.G.'s son, Patrick Tierney. Uncombable hair syndrome is an extremely rare condition that literally makes the hair impossible to comb. It currently affects less than 100 people across the globe. A married couple from China discovered that they were in the same photograph as teenagers more than a decade before they even met. On July 4th, 1826, President John Adams' last words before dying were, "Thomas Jefferson survives." But little did he know, President Jefferson had died just hours earlier that same exact day. Not to mention it was exactly 50 years after the Declaration of Independence was passed.
Man.
Horses
Eerie.
are much bigger than people, so naturally they just have a lot more blood than we do. So whenever horses get nosebleeds, it ends up looking like a whole crime scene. So one of the only reasons we know how many people died in the Titanic are the shoes that are laying on the ocean floor. Some are pretty cool, others are kind of depressing. And the reason we count the shoes instead of, bones is because when the Titanic hit the floor, all the corpses kind of just scattered and the fish ate the corpses, but the fish couldn't eat the shoes. If you ever decide to go climb Mount Everest, I hope that you remember that the crevices in the ice are V-shaped, which means if you were to ever accidentally fall down one, you more than likely wouldn't die instantly. Your body heat would melt the ice around you, causing you to slip further and further down until your chest couldn't expand enough to breathe. So make sure you bring a friend just as crazy as you to help get you out.
I ain't going to Mount Everest.
This is the
world's smallest dog. Her name is Pearl, and she's a 2-year-old Chihuahua that lives in Central Florida. Pearl stands at 3.59 inches tall and weighs 1.2 pounds. She's shorter than a popsicle stick and around the same length as a $1 bill, and she can fit in the palm of your hand. Pearl was recently awarded the Guinness World Record for being the smallest and shortest dog in the world. She's a descendant of the previous world record holder, Miracle Millie, who is 3.8 inches tall, which is just 0.2 inches taller than Pearl. Pearl's owner describes her as a calm dog who likes to go for walks and play with her toys. She also said that Pearl loves the attraction she gets for being so tiny.
If you have one of these in your home, then you need to know this new chilling theory. TikTokers have claimed these new viral furry Labubus carry demonic energy, rumoured to be inspired by the demon Pazuzu. But Hotmart insists they're based on a children's book. Labubu owners have now taken to blessing their dolls with holy water to banish any evil the new toys may hold.
Those Labubu dolls, man, I've been seeing them popping up. Like, they just seem like they just got popped out of nowhere, so...
This is the disturbing moment this woman laughed in court after she took this 3-year-old's life in a random attack. On June 3rd, police received numerous phone calls about a stabbing at a grocery store parking lot in Ohio. At around 3 p.m. on this day, 38-year-old Margot Wood was loading groceries into her car while her 3-year-old son Julian sat in his car seat. That's when 32-year-old Bianca Ellis entered the car and began stabbing the little boy. When Margot noticed, she tried to stop the attack, and as a result, she was also wounded. Julian was then rushed to the hospital where he unfortunately passed away. Now, what's disturbing was that this was a random attack, and after looking at surveillance footage, the attacker was seen following the mother and the child in and out of the grocery store. Then, when Bianca was brought into court, the judge began reading out the indictment, and she was seen smiling and laughing the entire time. And after an assessment was done on Bianca, they're arguing that she has bipolar disorder and had a psychotic break, which explains why she did what she did. And this story only gets crazier. Before this incident, Bianca confessed to another murder in Bakersfield, and she even gave details of what she did with this person's body. She also warned officers that if she wasn't arrested, she was going to murder someone and eat their flesh. But none of this was taken too serious, and she was released from the mental institution, and not long after, she committed this heinous crime.
The most disturbing phone number in the world. Part 2. In 2005, in a quiet luxury neighborhood in California lived a family of 6. The road they lived on is called Devil's Ladder, and things are about to take a demonic turn. The father is laying down one night at 3:30 in the morning while everybody in the house is sleeping. He gets up, picks up his 9mm pistol, and slowly starts creeping down the hallways. One by one, he shoots each of his children in the head while they're sleeping. He then made his way down to his last 2 victims. The last 2 victims of this heinous crime were his own mother and his wife. After everyone else in the house was dead, he made his way downstairs, picked up the cell phone, and made one last phone call. I was able to find the original phone number using Spy Dialer, and as you can see on your screen now, it says he's deceased and the number's disconnected. However, when you call this number today, this is what plays.
Okay, does anyone else hear footsteps? If so, whose footsteps are these?
Make sure to like and follow for more videos tomorrow.
She was in the car when a brick came flying towards her.
A brick? Oh,
In 2012, 29-year-old Olga Gajkovic was riding in the passenger seat with her family. They were driving down a road in Russia just like any other day. Their car had a dash cam, not knowing what it was about to capture. In the video, a semi-truck passes by the family's car when a brick is seen flying in the air going towards Olga. The brick smashes the window and hits Olga in the head. Everyone in the car is screaming while Olga has been knocked out by that brick. Olga was rushed to the hospital but later died from her injuries. This is your reminder to be safe on the road and always be observant.
I'm stabbed.
Who would throw a brick on a like highway? People did not use their brains, man, anymore. Truly. They know what the result of that could be, right? So what's the point of doing that?
These were George Spencer Millett's last words. It was his birthday, and 15 unlit candles remained on his cake. 6 young ladies merrily chased him around the office for a birthday kiss. George tripped and fell. The laughter turned to screams as a pool of blood crept from underneath his chest. The sharp tip of a little erasing knife in his pocket had pierced his young heart. A short and bizarre description on a gravestone lays testament to his unusual demise. Kissed to death.
Just because you've known from a birthday kiss? I was
Observing facts that school never taught you. Part 2. The proper way to actually flush a toilet might shock you. After you use the restroom, you're supposed to get up, close the lid, and then flush. If you leave your toilet seat open while you flush, bacteria jumps up to 30 centimeters and lands all over your bathroom floor. A study was done that 1 out of 30 people actually close the lid before flushing. Languages are disappearing at a staggering rate. It's estimated that 1 language dies every 2 weeks. Could you imagine your language just completely vanishing? More than 2,500 left-handed people die every single year from using right-handed products. So if you're left-handed, just be a little bit more careful. The average mattress doubles in weight every 10 years due to the amount of poop in it. If you're receiving random phone calls from any sort of number in the world, you can use a website called spydialer.com. Spydialer allows you to type in any name, address, email, or phone number and find out who they really are. I honestly feel like schools needed to teach these because you never really know who's on the other end of that line until now. Make sure to like and follow for more videos tomorrow.
Wealthiest person from each country. Japan.
Let's break this down.
Tadashi Yanai. $35 billion. Germany. Dieter Schwartz. $50 billion. Canada. David Thompson. $55 billion. China. Zhang Shanshan. $60 billion. Mexico.
El Chapo.
Carlos Slim Helú. $90 billion. France. Bernard Arnault. $190 billion. United States.
That's Elon Musk. Yeah.
Elon Musk. $210 billion.
All that money. What would you do, Seekers, if you had that amount of wealth? I couldn't even imagine.
This is the horrifying truth of the Russian sleep experiment. The purpose was to get rid of the need for humans to sleep through the use of an experimental gas. 5 participants were locked in a chamber that was pumped with this no-sleep gas for 15 days. These men were all political prisoners and were fine after the first 5 days. But it was on the 9th day when one of the subjects started screaming so loud and ripped the vocal cords out of his throat. Another man started screaming as well, so the researchers went into the room and said they would free one person. But the prisoners looked back and said, "We don't want to be freed." The prisoners were going insane and literally started ripping off their skin. They were taken to a hospital where they enjoyed being cut into. They brought the last living 2 test subjects back to the chamber and said, "Who are you?" The subject answered, "We're the madness that lurks within you and the reason you hide in your bed every night."
Okay, we need our sleep.
How did this pigeon save the lives of 194 people? Normal photos, disturbing backstory. It's World War I and a unit of 550 men are trapped behind enemy lines without food or ammunition, but their situation was about to get even worse. In the confusion, their own army began firing at the trapped men. Now they were under friendly fire and enemy fire. They sent out a desperate plea for help by a homing pigeon. The bird made it a couple of feet into the air before it was torn apart by gunfire. All hope seemed to be lost. But seconds later, a fluttering sound. The injured pigeon took flight again. Although it had a bullet wound, it was blinded in one eye and one leg was hanging on by a single tendon. The pigeon struggled back to base with a vital message and the men were saved. That pigeon, named Cher Ami, meaning dear friend, survived the war and was awarded 2 medals for bravery.
It deserves it, truly. Damn, that was hard, bro. His leg was that injured and he still completed his mission?
This truck driver took the life of 5 people because he was distracted on TikTok. The morning of January 12, 2023, 36-year-old Danny Tyner was driving on Interstate 10 in Arizona when he drove his tractor trailer in to stop the traffic. This scene is so difficult to look at, but basically his truck sandwiched 2 other cars with another big truck at the front. These are the 5 victims that lost their lives on that day, and when Danny was asked what happened, he said that he looked down for a couple of seconds because he got a notification on his work tablet, and when he looked back up, there was not enough time to brake. But that wasn't true. When his phone was analyzed, it showed that he was actively using TikTok when the crash happened. Now, what I found disturbing was that during his interaction with police, he didn't seem too fazed. He was eventually charged with manslaughter and was sentenced to 4.5 years in prison for each count of negligent homicide, which totaled to 22.5 years.
Here are some toy designers who failed miserably. This car says Austria, but has deserts and kangaroos on it. I think they meant Australia. And what is going on with these action figures? And this teddy bear looks normal until you see it without the sweater. I am a sweet baby, let's have fun together. Doesn't look like a sweet baby. What looks to be like a normal horse toy is actually a Barbie's head as the tail. Okay, but what is this Winnie the Pooh toy? It literally looks like it's wearing a grandma's dentures. And why is there an eyeball coming out of this teddy bear? Is this supposed to be Yoda? Come on, you had one job and you put the eye on backwards. What kind of dinosaur is this? And I don't even have words for this.
Who were caught cheating, part 2. In 1994, on the day before the U.S. Figure Skating Championships, title holder Nancy Kerrigan was filmed finishing a practice skate, but just seconds later she was screaming in pain on the ground after a man with a police baton attacked her. The attack severely bruised her knee, which made her unable to compete. Her longtime rival Tanya Harding went on to take first place and was selected alongside her for that year's Winter Olympic skating team. However, police soon discovered that the attack on Kerrigan had been ordered by a bounty hunter. In a shocking twist of events, Tanya Harding's ex-husband Jeff Gillooly and her once bodyguard Sean Eckhart were labeled as the culprits. They'd hired the bounty hunter to break Kerrigan's leg, removing Harding's competition in the upcoming events. Although she claimed she had no part in the conspiracy, Harding later admitted that she knew her ex-husband had been involved, but she failed to report it. But karma had the last laugh. At the games, a malfunction with her skates saw Tanya placed down in 8th, while Kerrigan managed a silver in 2nd.
That goes to show you, bro. That's proof of karma right there, man. She knew what was gonna happen, man, to take out the competition. She ain't saying nothing about it, and she still got 8th place. She didn't even get top 1 or 2, man, for the gold or silver medal. That's karma, seekers, right there, in 4K.
Here are some things that 99% of humans can't do. Are you part of the 1%? The ability to raise eyebrows is an evolutionary trait that all of us can do. While pretty much everybody can raise their eyebrows, only 1% of the world can raise one eyebrow at once. Did you know that 99% of the world can't lick their elbow? So you probably can't do this, and I bet you're probably doing it right now. However, for some people, this task is actually really easy, which is due to being born with really flexible bodies or practicing a lot of gymnastics. Only 2% of people can wiggle their ears. Unlike other face muscles, ear muscles are operated by a completely different part of your brain. If you try to use your face muscles to move your ears, it's never gonna work. So you're gonna have to raise your eyebrows and smile widely to lift your ears. And if you're lucky, you might be one of the few people that can move them.
I can't. Seekers, can you guys do any of those things? I think I can do the elbow joint. I think actually I can. But I can't do the ear joint. That's completely different. Or that one eyebrow, what The Rock be doing. I cannot do that. Tell me down below if you can do that, man. I'm actually curious if any of you guys can do that.
This man was frozen in ice for 3 days, and you won't believe what happened to him. His name is David Blaine, and he went inside a block of ice for 3 days with no food and only one tube supplying him with air and water. At the 61-hour mark, he was beginning to lose consciousness, but he couldn't go to sleep because if he leaned on the ice, he would have gotten severe frostbite. Unfortunately, this led him to have extreme hallucinations. Near the end of the stunt, he called his girlfriend over, but she was immediately pulled away. This made him think that he was dead and that she couldn't see him. After 63 hours, they decided to cut him out, but they said he was so delusional, he tried to grab the chainsaw. He finally made it out, but he was so physically and emotionally tired that he couldn't walk or talk. David was rushed to the hospital in critical condition, and after 1 month of therapy, he finally made a full recovery. If you're watching horror movies and feel like something's watching you, this could be why. A
A family from Ecuador enjoyed watching horror movies together in their living room. But one night, during their late horror night session, they began to feel a strange presence with them in the living room. Scared, thinking they might have attracted an evil entity into their home, they placed a camera in their living room, and this is what they captured.
Ahí yo fue que ya comencé a sentirme mal. ¿Por qué? Porque mira, a ver, eso yo sí lo vi claramente, así, de reojo. Mira, ¿sí viste? Eso sí.
One of the family members is startled as a dark figure can be seen moving behind him. After this, objects began to fly across the room.
La puerta ahí como la tenía trancada. ¿No? Mira, sí, oye, ¿sí ves? Sí, ¿qué pasa?
And they just get out of there. The family would later call in a priest to bless the house, but the hauntings persist.
This is the stuff of nightmares that's like straight out of the
Is that legit, Seekers?
It has a lot to do with the dark web. Sometime around 2004, when people were just starting to explore what would later be known as the dark web, they would talk about a woman that would show up on your screen, except it wasn't a woman. It was a distorted mask of a woman's face. And what this person would do is that they would recite your full name and your address, and then say, "I'm coming for you." And then the whole screen would go dark.
This is what they mean when they say only 5% of the ocean has been explored. What kind of fish is this?
Did that fish just eat her out? I mean, like I said, it's true. We only explore like 5% of the ocean, so there could be some species down there that we haven't even seen before. Have you seen that fish before, man? I sure haven't. The more you know. That's scary.
Blood-curdling facts that you wish you never knew. Part 16. Kangaroos are absolutely terrifying, and if you mess with one, it will likely lure you into the water and attempt to drown you. There's an abandoned Disney park that you aren't allowed to go to, and it was shut down in 1999 because it was infested with free-roaming alligators. The animals were being abused, and an 11-year-old boy died from a flesh-eating bacteria found in the park's waters. In the movie The Wizard of Oz, the lion's costume was made out of a real skinned lion. This is the John Lawson house. No one knows who lives there, but every single day, there are several female mannequins sitting on the front porch wearing a variety of clothing. Their positions and outfits change daily, and many believe this is meant to convey some sort of message. And in 1871, a train crash took place just 200 feet away from the home, killing 22 people. And these mannequins are always pointing toward the crash.
Why?
A 51-year-old Mexican woman was looking for love. She met a Peruvian man named Juan Villafuerte on an online gaming app, and on the last day of October, she traveled 3,000 miles to Lima, Peru to meet him. She thought that he could be the one. On November 7th, while in the beach city of Huacho, where Villafuerte lived, Blanca spoke to her niece on the phone and told her that the relationship was going well and that she was in love. Then, she went silent. Her niece suspected something was wrong after not being able to get into contact with her. She called for help on Twitter and reached out to Juan Villafuerte, who said that Blanca got bored of him and left to find a plane ticket back to Mexico, as he could not provide the life she wanted. But the truth was much, much darker. On November 10th, Peruvian authorities found a severed finger on the beach of Huacho. Then in the following days, they found a faceless head, and then an arm, and then a torso with no organs inside of it. They eventually identified Blanca Arellano via her family by the ring on her finger. Juan Villafuerte was arrested on charges of human organs trafficking. Authorities found traces of blood all over his apartment, and he reportedly posted TikTok videos of human organs days after Blanca's disappearance. Creepy last words people said right before dying. A nursing assistant said that she was in a long-term patient's room changing the sheets. The patient would periodically look behind her. She asked the patient what was wrong, and the patient looked in her eyes and asked, "He doesn't scare you?" The nurse was confused, and she asked her who she was referring to, and the patient said, The big man in the top hat. He's standing right behind you. She said that she doesn't think that she has ever finished changing a bed sheet and repositioning a patient as fast as she did that night. She refused to go into that room by herself for the rest of her shift. Linda Johnson, a former nurse, said that she had a gentleman in his late 90s who was dying. He started screaming blood-curdling screams, so they raced to his room. He was screaming that the room was on fire and that there was a man with large horns peering out of the flames. He kept pointing to one wall, saying that it was on fire. The nurses turned on the lights and tried to calm and console him, but to no avail. Instead of being consoled, Linda said that he told her that she was on fire and that he could see her being consumed by flames. Linda said that it was the creepiest thing that has ever happened to her. The doctor was notified, but nothing relieved the patient's terrifying hallucinations. He died soon after. Cynthia said that several years ago, her 20-year-old daughter had brain surgery. She got an infection of the spinal fluid. She was there in grave condition for a month. Cynthia never left her daughter's side. One night, the worst night at this point, she asked who the man in black was that was standing by the bathroom and why Cynthia's deceased brother, the girl's uncle, was standing next to her at the side of the bed. Cynthia immediately got the chills. She told her daughter, "They're not here." Then she told her brother and the man in the black, whom she couldn't see, "You both have to go now. She's not ready to go and I'm not ready to let her go." After that night, her daughter started to get better and better each day. Today, her daughter is doing well.
September 25th, 1981, something very strange took place up in the Smoky Mountains. This is a picture of Pauline Melton, and it would end up being one of the last known photos of her. Because while Pauline was up there, she was with two hiking companions. They described that she, all of a sudden, without explanation, just started to rapidly speed up. They even described that they called out to her. They were asking, "Pauline, where are you going? Pauline." She never answered. She never looked back until she crossed over a hill. Since that exact moment, Pauline was never seen again. And to this day, they still have no idea where she went and why she did it.
The first person to live forever is already alive. At least according to Neil deGrasse Tyson, who explains it with irrefutable logic. It starts with someone that was born in like the past year or so. Our test subject, call him Johnny Boy. The reason Johnny, or any of us, age is because our cells are constantly dividing, making fresh copies of our DNA in each new cell. Our DNA is packed into chromosomes, and since DNA duplication isn't perfect, the tips of these chromosomes are slightly trimmed on every replication. Sort of like making a photocopy of a photocopy of a photocopy. The quality slightly degrades each time. To protect against this, our chromosomes have something called telomeres on their tips, which essentially contain junk DNA data that we can afford to lose. But even these telomeres are finite. They get shorter and shorter on every duplication until at some point they're fully gone. Then the cell stops dividing, gradually loses its function and withers away. The more this happens in our cells, the more we age, and our bodies experience age-related characteristics. Scientists like David Sinclair are currently getting really close to reversing this process in human cells. He's developed what he refers to a chemical cocktail that can reprogram the way our cells are read to sort of fill in the blanks from these imperfections in our DNA replication. The science behind it is quite extensive, and he ran tests on lab mice that were incredibly successful. Having mice born at the same time with one looking visibly older than the other says that human trials are planned to start within the decade, and it's just a matter of time before we start seeing success in that. So where does this live forever come from? Obviously, the first version of this cocktail won't be perfect. It may extend human life to, let's say, 150 years. Now remember our test subject, Johnny Boy? In 20 years, he'll be 20, at which time we're almost guaranteed to be undergoing human trials at the very least, if not already publicly available. This life potion is given to Johnny so that he can live until 150. The claim states that by the time Johnny is 40, we're almost guaranteed to make enough advancement to double the anti-aging cocktail so that now he can live till 300. 20 years later, when he's 60, the potion will be approved so that he can live till 500 years old. By the time he's 80, he can live till 1,000. These numbers are all arbitrary, but the general principle still holds up. Even if we start seeing diminishing returns in the improvements of this concoction, Johnny has already hacked his way into living forever. He can already live till 1,000 at this point, so even if it takes 100 more years to improving the medicine to living till, say, 2,000 years old, he'll live until then and take it, constantly outliving the improvement curve of anti-aging until they've cracked the code to the million-year potion, at which point Johnny Boy is essentially immortal, which means one of two things absolutely must happen in our future. One, we colonize other planets, or two, we stop having babies. If people are living forever and no longer dying, our population will continue to grow grow and just grow and grow. At which point we either need more space to put people, like other planets, or we gotta stop making people. So unless we want to sterilize the entire human race, living forever probably isn't a good idea until we figure this multi-planetary business out.
Things that show...
What do you guys think about that theory, Seekers? The age gap, but it just kept going and going and going, man. They're working on stuff, man, to make us not age no more. We live forever, trying to make us immortal. What do you guys think about that?
Show off the power of time. Part 7. Disney World has had about 58 million visitors per year since it opened in 1971. And during those visits, guests would often have to wait in lines that were organized by rope walkways. And if you look closely at the rope clips, you can see that they've started to wear down. Some have even created a new groove. And no, I'm not talking about Cusco. Next, watching waves at the shoreline might seem like a calming activity, but not if you're a resident of Green Bay, Wisconsin. Over time, the waves wore the shoreline and even took a huge chunk out of it. Now, this would usually take several years for the effects to be seen. But in the case of Green Bay, this all happened within the span of an hour.
Wow, what the hell? The power of water.
And lastly, we're told that tattoos are permanent, but this may not be the case. Because this guy got a tattoo of a flower on the palm of his hand. And in just 2.5 months, the tattoo mostly vanished. This is mainly because our palms experience a lot of friction from how often we rub our hands. So if you want a tattoo, you might want to avoid your palm.
Bro, I gotta
think
ask, what is the most wholesome animal on earth? Brother, if you wanted a manatee video, you could have just asked. Did you know when alligators and manatees cross paths underwater, the alligators seem to let them pass? A prehistoric sledgehammer, and they give manatees the right of way. That's how you know you got motion in the ocean. There's never been a record of a manatee attacking a human, and it might be because it's literally physically impossible. One is because their teeth are way in their mouths, and their molars designed for grinding grass, not biting. You know, if you ever get bit by a manatee, that means you were in his throat, and if you were, that means this law was for you. Some things don't need exploring Columbus. Also, some scientists think that because adult manatees have no predators, and because they don't have to fight each other over who eats what grass, there's a lot of talk that the sea squishy is mentally incapable of feeling aggression. Now, I don't know if that's true, but I will say 3 things. 1, they don't just eat grass, they'll go pescatarian if the opportunity presents itself. 2, as fast as you think manatees are, they're faster. It might not be with malicious intent, but 1,200 pounds of anything moving like that is definitely cause to pause. And 3, last year a popular manatee named Q, past tense, after essentially explicit interaction with a bigger male named Buffett, tore him open like a reverse butt birth. The catch? Buffett was his brother. Yeah, that's pretty bad, but did you know manatees are also closely related to my favorite animal? They even got the same nail tech. So yeah, I'm a little biased, so I'm gonna let it slide. Especially since I'm pretty sure it wasn't aggression, but just a dangerous lack of awareness. But yeah, God bless this water blimp, and R.I.P. Hugh.
R.I.P. Hugh, bro. I didn't know manatees were related to, like, elephants. I saw that. We learn new things every day, Seekers, man.
Don't freak out, but we are right now entering the beginning of the end of the universe. 95% of all the stars that will ever form have already formed. And it gets even crazier than that. There is a sphere around us called the Hubble sphere. Beyond this point, everything is moving away from us faster than the speed of light due to the expansion of space itself. And how many of the galaxies do you think are outside of this sphere? 94% of all the galaxies we can see are beyond this boundary today. Meaning, no matter how hard we try, if there are aliens living in these galaxies, we will never be able to meet them. 60,000 stars pass beyond this horizon every single second. That's nearly 2 million solar systems we can no longer visit since the start of this video. This will continue until we are all alone. The universe as we know it, with all the beautiful galaxies and nebulae, will slowly fade away into darkness, and the astronomers of the future will point their telescopes everywhere, finding the same thing: darkness and silence for the rest of eternity.
Here are horrible things done by very influential people. Everyone knows Steve Jobs for founding Apple, but what most people don't know is the dark side of his personal life. He had an on and off relationship with a woman named Kristen Brennan, and this led to a messy pregnancy and a years-long paternity battle. Steve Jobs refused to help Brennan and their child financially, and she had to go on welfare. Now, eventually, he did help his daughter, but only because Brennan came forward about his behavior in an interview with Time magazine in 1982. Before becoming a popular kids book author, Theodore Seuss Geisel, aka Dr. Seuss, served in the animation department of the United States Army during World War II. He wrote training and propaganda films, and designed posters to get people signed up to
to join the army. But a lot of his work at the time made the Japanese look really horrible, and this carried on into his earlier books. And Mother Teresa helped provide healthcare to the sick and the poor, but her actions behind the scenes were questionable, to say the least. It's been reported that her care involved these people allegedly going through a forced conversion to Catholicism, which involved children being baptized without their parents' consent. She also allegedly hid the actions of priests who were behaving inappropriately around children, and used charity funds for her own medical care. Yeah, this is not what Jesus would do.
This teacher was caught doing it
People
with
taking
an 8th grade
advantage.
student, and apparently it was almost daily. The kid was 13 years old, and now she will serve 10 years in prison. This happened in Texas. The teacher behind me, her name is Alexandria Vera. She's 25 years old, and this 13-year-old got her pregnant. She stated the relationship happened in the Instagram DMs, and his family apparently approved of this relationship. The judge and the school district said that they want their teachers to teach students, not put their hands all over their students. She was originally going to get 30 years in prison, but the judge said, I don't think she's that bad, and gave her 10 years. Apparently this relationship blossomed in 2015 around summertime. The boy kept advancing, she kept denying, but eventually she gave in, apparently. Prosecutors said, based on evidence, they did it daily for 9 months straight. And apparently during the entire ordeal, to get away with this, she told her neighbors that the boy was her brother. And now it gets even weirder. She even moved his father in with her so she could pretend she was dating the father when in reality she was the kid. This was kind of a mask. She was also paying for the family's groceries and phone bill. This kid literally had a sugar mama. Now Alexandria Vera has a 6-year-old daughter that even called the 13-year-old kid her dad. What an interesting case. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you're from Houston, Texas, did you hear about this case around you guys? As always, these videos are for informational purposes only. Once again, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I definitely feel like she should have served life for this. She knew exactly what she...
Did the angels come down and cut down all the giant trees? Watch this.
Enoch describes this perfectly. And this book was left out of the Bible on purpose from our predecessors, but it describes the angels coming down and cutting all these giant trees down to flood out the Nephilim, the giants, these beings that stretched 4,500 feet tall. These trees would reach the heavens, and that's why you always see the flat mountaintops.
That was
these
an
were
ancient
massive trees way back in the day. Giant trees. This was a much bigger realm. And they came and they cut all this down because they wanted to get rid of the Nephilim. They wanted to get rid of the giants. It is said that there's about 200 of these trees that were cut down. And if you take a look around, that's pretty accurate. There could be even more. But the evidence is right in front of your face. And when you cut a tree down, water will start pouring out from the trees. But it's as above, so below. The water's above the firmament. This is where all the flooding came in. It was right after they cut the trees down was when we experienced this massive flood. And it wiped out all of the giants, all of the Nephilim. And this was mentioned, again, in the book of Enoch. And they left it out on purpose, guys. Like, they left this shit out on purpose because they don't want you to know the real origins of humanity and our true history.
I'll tell you some things
Giants?
I learned today. Apparently less than 10% of all plastic has ever actually been recycled. Orange chicken was invented at a Hawaiian Panda Express in 1987. Boeing once filled an airplane with potatoes to test its in-flight Wi-Fi because potatoes mimic the way humans absorb and reflect wireless signals. Sometimes I feel like a potato. I guess sun exposure can cause skin cancer, which is an obvious one, but it also reduces overall mortality rates, including from cancer. Apparently the population density of Manhattan is now 40% lower than it was in 1910, when it peaked at 2.2 million residents. That's a lot of people back then. Now it only has 1.6. Also, Central Park is only the 6th biggest park in New York City. That one blows my mind. Apparently Burger King is not allowed to use the name Burger King in Mattoon, Illinois, because there is a restaurant there already protected, as they made the name a state trademark in 1959 and have defended it in court against Burger King.
Now, why does everybody get on this app and act like that new iPhone 17 is the best thing since sliced bread? And if you don't know, Apple just dropped the previews for the new iPhone 17. And just like every other iPhone, the iPhone is trash. Look at this shit. They're about to play in everybody's face all over again. Oh, this is the biggest iPhone lineup ever. There's so many different colors. So they got 4 new iPhones. The iPhone 17 Pro Max, the iPhone 17 Pro, the iPhone 17 Air, and the iPhone 17. And the best thing out of everything is the iPhone Air. Made of titanium. And the battery lasts all day. Nobody don't care about that shit. You got 2 or 3 cameras. One with 1 camera. And then you got another one with 2 cameras. And again, Samsung wins. Nobody asked for none of this shit, man. Nobody asked for AirPods that translate shit. Who asked for that? I'm gonna say this again. Because I have an iPhone. I'm filming this on an iPhone. But I also have a Samsung. Samsung is truly better. I'm not going into the details to tell you everything this should do. You go down the rabbit hole and see. And listen, I know everybody is about to say, yo, the 17 is coming out. I'm about to go waste my money. I might just go get it too. That don't mean I can't not like it. Apple, you did it again. Y'all need to straighten your shit up, man. For real.
Back on the subject of...
Y'all team Apple, team Samsung, bro. I don't freaking upgrade my phone till the clunk side on me, man. To me, bro, it's not worth it, man. Wasting that unnecessary money trying to keep upgrading every single year. They coming out with these phones like that, so I don't know how some of y'all be keeping up with it, bro.
Disneyland animatronic malfunctions. This is Walt Disney, and his animatronic was lean with it, rocket with it. There's a video of another malfunction of this exact animatronic at the end, and it is super creepy. I don't know why this animatronic freaks me out so bad. It looks so extremely human. I don't like it. Also, there is a rumor that Walt Disney's soul inhabits it. You know all the rumors of like Walt Disney's body is cryogenically frozen on Disneyland, or like his body is there somewhere. This animatronic holds his soul. And that's why it keeps breaking down, because he does not want to be an animatronic, which I do not blame him. I would not want to be either. But those eyes are extremely realistic, and I am frightened. This is what it's supposed to move like. Like, the movements are extremely fluid, like creepily so. They look super, super human. I watched this video of this malfunction, and it just stops working, just like out of nowhere. I don't know why this creeps me out so bad. Does it scare you also? And what do you think about his soul being trapped inside it? Could you imagine? Just like stuck for all eternity, having to perform like a dancing monkey. Like, no, I don't like the thought of it. So like his soul is trying to rebel and be like, I don't want to do this. And so it just keeps breaking down. Watch this and let me know what you're thinking.
Yeah, Five Nights at Freddy vibes, bro. Those animatronics. It looks too fluid, bro. Oh, he glitched out. Heard him say, uh-oh.
Are we living in some sort of simulation or matrix? Why do I ask? Because there's a viral video that's floating around the internet that shows a lunar eclipse. And once the eclipse occurs, you see multiple moons in the sky. You haven't seen the video, take a look at this. Look at this right here. Watch as they zoom in. There's the eclipse right there. And there are 3 other moons present in this video.
4K.
Is that some sort of reflection? What is going on? I paused the video right here because you can see right up there, that is the actual moon being covered during the eclipse. What are the other 3 moons that are in front of it? Here it is fully blown up for you as clear as I can get it. As you can see, the eclipse is right there in the background. What are these other 1, 2, 3 moons that are in the frame? I run the video to see if it was AI. I put it through Gronk and through ChatGPT. Both came back saying that the video is real and was recorded somewhere in Europe or in Russia. So what did we just see on that video? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and as always, I'd love to hear from you.
This woman has spent the last 3 years building an entire tunnel system under her house. And yes, she has neighbors. You see, initially, Carla only set out to build a storm shelter under her property in Virginia. But instead of hiring a team of professionals with 0 qualifications, Carla set out starting hand-mixing her own concrete, laying down hundreds of blocks. She blasted through multiple jackhammers. She built a freaking elevator to haul out more than 200 tons of rock. She installed pumps for excess water and even had to build a ventilation system so she didn't suffocate down there. I mean, one small
small mistake playing IRL Minecraft can literally mean death. That's why it's even more mind-blowing when you find out that not only is she doing all of this work by herself, spending 50 to 100k of her own money so far, but also she works in freaking IT. She's entirely self-taught. Is this what happens when you realize you have free will? And what makes this story even crazier is that she's not digging underneath some isolated house. She lives in a normal neighborhood. And actually, this freaked a lot of them out because, I don't know, sinkholes reaching the netherworld, angering the nethermoth. So I guess it makes sense that one of her curtain-twitching neighbors snitched.
We have some complaints. Basically, there's some construction going on.
And in December 2023, local authorities turned up to her house. They inspected her tunnels, declared them unsafe, and ordered her to halt construction. Oh, but the government had no idea who they were up against. She taught herself how to mine. Paperwork and legal code? That's some wind-down bedtime reading. So she went to war for over a year, and I cannot stress this enough. She somehow won and got the government to allow an unqualified individual to dig tunnels as a hobby underneath a suburban neighborhood. This woman needs to run for president because I believe she can achieve anything. Her permits were approved in March, and today the tunnels continue. Next, she says that she'll be using the 2,000-year-old stone blocks to build a castle. And she'll probably get approval to build it on top of the freaking White House.
Say goodbye to your UK. Data protection on Apple devices is one of their biggest things. You know your data is safe, but not for long in the UK. It's been in talks for a long time now, but basically UK government wanted a backdoor into Apple devices so that your data wasn't fully encrypted and they could access it, for the reason that they could then track criminals and see their text messages and things like that without it being protected. But of course, data protection is one of Apple's biggest things that they pride themselves on. That's why they're so big. But this tool was actually removed so that your data isn't actually as protected as it was before. In recent days, there's been reports on the government actually walking back and backtracking on this backdoor demand after meetings with Trump and the US. The UK also have said that Apple hold too much power by completely controlling the market, so by pushing people in the UK away from Apple would let other developers compete fairly while having strong protection still. But Apple have said you wouldn't be protected as much, and it's a huge data risk to citizens of the EU because they would be going to other parties external from Apple and it wouldn't be protected. So I'm not sure what's going to happen. I'll keep you posted, but let me know your thoughts.
Y'all, I don't know what timeline we in, but all I know is shit is getting dark. This lady walked inside. I think this is a hospital. She walked up to this lady. The lady gets up from her chair to greet her, and she tries to bite her, y'all. I'm talking about take a chunk out of her neck or her head, something. All I know is she tried to bite her, y'all. I'm gonna play the video. Y'all look at this shit. Y'all let me know what y'all think.
Let's break this down.
This shit, y'all.
This ain't The Walking Dead. What the hell?
Like what? Bruh. What are you doing in this situation?
What she did?
Is that a demon or witch? Which one? That shit is crazy, fool. I don't know what's going on right now, y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all think she was. A witch? A demon? Like what? What would make someone walk up like that and just try to bite somebody? A zombie? She didn't look like a zombie though.
You guys heard of the Nazca mummies? Yeah, so this is in Nazca, Peru. 2015, they found 200 mummified remains, a couple dozen of which were fully intact, but they're these humanoid-looking creatures that have 3 fingers on each hand and 3 toes on each. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, it's just super weird, and they've done a ton of studies on these things. They did like a DNA sampling from one of its, or a couple of their flesh or whatever, and 30% of their genetic makeup is identified as something on this earth that can be identified as something, so the rest is not. Or is it the other way around? So a lot of these creatures, they still had their organs inside of them. So they did these CT scans, and one of them that they call Maria, they said it was pregnant, but it looked like it had like 3 eggs inside of it. But near the cave where they found these, they found a petroglyph of this creature that has 3 fingers on each hand, and then a lot of their art, they talk about the sky people. And so the theory is that they made these giant things in the dirt.
Yeah, to talk to.
Okay, or even like a landing strip for these things.
Part of their history, part of their culture.
Y'all remember when I told y'all to watch out for the eggs and the chickens, right? Now people are reportedly popping up with giant parasites inside of their eggs. This looked like a 2-foot tapeworm that it came out of an egg that a woman was boiling. And this is not the only incident where there's parasites that is coming out of people's eggs. What is going on with our food source? First the chickens catch the buck clap, then the prices of eggs go up, and not only are the prices of eggs go up, now they got little friends inside of them. There are multiple people that are popping up and showing that they have live specimens inside of their eggs. So please check your eggs before you consume them. You might have little creatures in them. And I'm not telling y'all to completely stop eating eggs, but before you consume them, you might want to put them under a microscope for further investigation. But y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think about these parasites that's popping up all over in people's eggs in the comments. Like and follow for more wisdom and stay tuned. And if you want to learn on how people are getting paid residual income from content creation, comment down below ATM and I'm going to send back in your DMs. Be aware of the Bach clap.
Check your eggs.
They're gonna start getting the mark of the beast.
Oh,
yeah.
Then I'm gonna get a microchip and plant it in my hand.
But it was some Asian guy, right? And this is his thought process. Whenever he gets like Uber Eats from his apartment, you know we have the fob key?
Yeah.
Sometimes I forget it, right? So I'm gonna put the microchip in my phone, right? So now he's like, oh, sometimes I do leave my phone. What is actually always on myself? So he's like, yes. And there's a video, them planting the needle in it, and he goes into his elevator, goes like this.
Programming is done now, let's go try it out. So now shape up the top of my hand and select my phone.
Look, the mark of the beast, look.
It's not that serious.
It's not that serious.
It's not that serious. You can wear a necklace.
Yeah. Well, there's so much. You can wear a ring, bro.
See, cause it's happening right in front of us, bro. I'm gonna put a microchip inside of itself just so he can order Uber Eats faster and get it faster. Really? I ain't getting that chip.
AI-powered assassination drones combining facial recognition with miniaturized explosives represent what experts call humanity's most dangerous technological development since nuclear weapons. Unlike traditional weapons requiring human operators who can hesitate or refuse orders, these autonomous systems eliminate human judgment from kill decisions entirely. Commercial drones, facial recognition software, and precision components are readily available and becoming cheaper every month. A single operator could deploy thousands of these systems simultaneously against journalists, activists, politicians, or anyone who challenges powerful interests. Security experts warn this could end democratic society by making traditional protection obsolete and giving authoritarian regimes unprecedented assassination capabilities. The implications extend beyond warfare to threaten open discourse itself. When anyone can be eliminated autonomously, public participation in democracy dies. International AI safety researchers are desperately calling for immediate global treaties before this technology becomes widely deployed by state and non-state actors. The window for prevention is rapidly closing as technical barriers decrease and components become more accessible worldwide. When autonomous killing machines become as common as smartphones, what happens to human civilization?
At David's concert tonight, he finally spoke out for the first time since the body was found in his Tesla. And what David said has a lot of people mad. And a lot of people thought that David was going to end up canceling his show tonight in Minneapolis, because the majority of people think that David is innocent. However, he was just dropped from his Hollister and Crocs collab, which led a lot of people to believe that he isn't actually innocent. And even more worse, ever since David's car was towed about 6 to 7 days ago, there was a body found decomposing in the front trunk of this Tesla, to which a lot of people are saying that there is no way that David would do do this as he has literally been on tour for the past few weeks, where the car, although is in David's name, was found abandoned in LA. When it was found in the tow lot, people were saying that it had a stinky fishy coochie smell. And now there has allegedly been another body found in a different car in LA, and this is where it gets even more insaner. Tonight when David was performing in my city of Minnesota, after not canceling his show, when he initially came out and performed, he literally just acted like nothing was wrong. And then it finally got to a part of the show where he was talking to the crowd. What I saw, he literally did not talk about the car at all. This is all alleged. I believe David's innocent, but do you?
You guys ever heard of the green line test? No. Okay, so there's this theory that in pictures of couples, if you draw a line that splits straight through their body, one line will be leaning toward the other line. So the theory goes, whoever is the line that's leaning toward the other will get their heart broken by the other. Some examples are Steph Curry and Aisha Curry.
Yeah, she's almost leaning away, too.
I think they broke it down to a science.
Another example, Tom Brady and Giselle.
Oh, the writing was on the wall.
Another example, Will Smith and Jada Pinkett.
That's a strong one. I think it's dead center on that one.
Another example, Kanye West and Kim Kardashian.
Man, that's a close one. Kanye is Kanye.
And last but not least, the one that breaks my heart absolutely the most.
Oh, no.
Barack Obama and Michelle Obama.
Yeah, but they're still together.
It didn't say it has happened. It says it will happen.
I believe in them.
They strong Obamas.
I hope they prove it wrong.
If these aliens really do come out of the water, where's the pictures? Where's the video? What? No evidence? How do you tell someone a public story but keep the documents private? TikTok, my video is for entertainment purposes only. Do you want to know what the elites try to tell all of us when they say these aliens coming out of the water? Are you ready for this? If I told you this is connected to black people, we have 4 elements on this planet and black people represent the water element. You ever wonder why black people can dance so good? Seem like they just move and flow like water? What if I told you black people do not belong on this planet, but we belong in the ocean and we've been trying to escape for the longest? DreamWorks logo is trying to tell us what happened. There is a group of aliens that pulled us from the ocean. And now that we had a second moon, it's going to try to pull more of us from the water again. You think this was just an accident? They have some boy sitting on top of the moon pulling spirits out of the ocean? Our ancestors tried to warn us. Did you listen?
Wade in the water. Wade in the water, children. Wade in the water. Gods are gonna trouble the water. See that band all dressed in white. Gods are gonna trouble the water. The leader looks like the Israelite. Gods are gonna trouble.
Did anybody else's moon look like the way that Vegas's moon looked the other night? Because I've been looking for the moon here for a few nights and I haven't found it. So everybody else in Vegas was catching what appeared to be the moon or what they're calling the moon, but it was changing, it was fluctuating. Like for instance, all right, check this out. This is all in one night, all right? Y'all see that, right? Now look at it. Y'all see that? Why is it darker now? The person said this changed within like 2 minutes. And then y'all see? Look at this. It's changed again, y'all. What is going on up in the sky?
I don't know if this is picking up very well, but our moon is blood red. And I mean blood red.
Do y'all see how big it is just sitting up there? And here's another video with, I don't know what this is over it. I don't know if it's a plane or UFO. It's got blinking lights, but again, this is Vegas.
Bro, it's a red moon right now. I don't know where y'all at, but in Las Vegas it's red.
Take a look at this shot of the moon just sitting in the skyline of Las Vegas, y'all. Look how eerie this thing looks. Look how eerie this thing looks, y'all. What the, bro, this is crazy. And the fact of the matter is that the moon isn't even here in Florida. Does everybody have a different moon? But yeah, y'all, did anybody else see the moon? Let me know down in the comments below, y'all. Like, follow, share for more videos like this. Let's ship this here. Let's continue to get it. Peace out.
Truth behind Peppa Pig.
Peppa Pig was diagnosed with cancer at just 2 years old and spent most of her early life in bed. She needed constant assistance and 24-hour supervision just to keep her alive. Peppa was a burden and embarrassment for the entire family. When her dad finally had enough, he got a horrific idea. He chained Peppa to her bed so she could never leave her own room. Years later, the parents had another child whom they also named Peppa. This Peppa replaced the original Peppa, who is still locked in her room. Now, if you Google Peppa Pig house wallpaper, something horrifying comes up. At first glance, this looks like a normal picture, but if you look closer, you can see the original Peppa still locked inside her room.
Wow. Isn't Peppa Pig mom been announced? I could think a couple of weeks ago or a week ago, man, that she was having another kid, bro. She's pregnant again, so I don't know, that theory's it's lining up. That's a weird one.
Let's meet one of our most venomous creatures. A rescue sea snake.
We don't do snake seekers.
Creepy facts I bet you didn't know, part 1. Your lips and anus are connected by the same tube. 90% of serial killers choose their victims by sexual desire. Your organs move freely around your body. Crows used to follow armies to feed on dead bodies. Human sacrifice was a real thing in Aztec Mexico.
Crazy facts about the human body. Part 1. If your immune system knew your eyes existed, it would attack your eyes, causing you to go blind. Most people blink 15 to 20 times a minute, with women blinking more than men, and our eyes are closed for about 10% of our waking life. Freckles aren't a sign of sun damage, but actually a natural protectant against the UV rays from the sun.
Wow, I never knew that about freckles.
Warning, you are all eating your own poop, and I'm gonna teach you how not to do that. Well, you know how you poop and fart in the bathroom? Well, like it or not, but as soon as you do that, millions of poop particles fly around your bathroom, and they eventually like nice places like your toothbrush where they land on. So yeah, your mom and dad's poop can be on your toothbrush too. The right way to store your toothbrush is in your bedroom somewhere safe or on your nightstand. But yeah, I'm not gonna forget that you ate your own poop. Like this video if you want more helpful facts.
Yeah, I don't keep my toothbrush in the bathroom.
This scary fact will blow your minds and will make you question literally everything. It is believed in many cultures that if you can remember your dream when you wake up in the morning, then it wasn't necessarily a random dream. Rather, it was a message. So let me know what the last dream you remember is, because it most likely means something. Share this with a friend. Elon!
If any of the seekers remembered your dreams before we woke up, I have a couple of times.
Our Sun versus the biggest star in the known universe. The Sun is really massive. It weighs 333,000 times more than the Earth. The second largest star in the universe is about 99 to 98. It weighs approximately 226 times the mass of the Sun. It is located 165,000 light years from Earth. The largest known star, Westerhout 49 to 2, is 250 times the size of the Sun and is 36,200 light years from Earth.
Those are some huge stars, man.
Alright, so moose drop their antlers every year but grow them back in the spring because they use them to flex for females. And at first the antlers grow inside this soft skin with tiny hairs called velvet. But eventually the moose has a surge of testosterone where they basically become 7-foot frat boys on spring break. That's when the velvet sheds and the bones of the antlers harden. The velvet stays on the antlers for about 3 to 4 months until the moose rubs up against trees and bushes to remove them. Which is why they look like they bundied somebody. As much of a hate crime as this looks like, it doesn't hurt the moose at all, and it's a lot like snakes shedding their skin. If anything, it's more like an annoying itch. Also, when a bull moose wants to pull a female, they use cologne just like you and me. Except their version involves digging a pit, peeing into the pit, and then rubbing and splashing a golden pool all over their antlers the R. Kelly way. Clearly they know what they're doing because smelling liquid sunshine causes the female moose to ovulate because nature's just weird like that.
Wow, really? I never knew freaking mooses did that. I mean, I knew that. I guess shook off the antlers, but I didn't know that they had like skin follicles on them. He be teaching me about
horror movie facts that will haunt your nightmares. Part 2. Coraline. The soundtrack in the movie is a French children choir singing. Surprisingly, they aren't actually singing in French. They're singing in a completely made-up language. If you look on the wall of the dining room in the other mother's home, you'll see 3 portraits of silhouettes. These likely represent the 3 ghost children that appear later in the film. In the normal world, the boy is sad and has dropped his ice cream. But in the other world, he's happy and his ice cream is perfect. On the back of the chair above where Coraline's doll sits features a small flower-shaped pattern. And this flower is almost exactly like the one on the back of Jack Torrance's chair in The Shining. The Welcome Home cake features a double loop on the O. And according to graphology, a double loop on the lowercase o means that the person who wrote it is not telling the truth. But on the cake, there is actually only one double loop, meaning that Coraline is welcome, but she is not home.
Oh, okay. Hidden details in Coraline.
Explaining the backstory to viral videos.
While this may appear to be a seemingly innocent video of a boy dragging a trash can with a dog barking at it, what may surprise you is that inside of that trash can is the body of the boy's high school math teacher, Colleen Ritzer. And on October 22nd, 2013, she asked one of her students, Philip Chisholm, to talk to her after class. Philip had recently moved from Tennessee, and when Colleen brought this up in conversation, Philip got extremely upset, so she changed the conversation immediately. At around 3 o'clock, Miss Ritzer got up to go use the restroom, and a few minutes later, Philip followed behind her. Philip calmly walked out of the bathroom and returned about 10 minutes later wearing a new set of clothes and carrying a trash bin alongside him. Security cameras outside of the school show Philip rolling the bin with her body into the woods. At this point, Colleen is barely alive. Philip dumps her body onto the ground and shoves a tree branch inside of her. He leaves the scene with his teacher's credit card and uses it to buy Taco Bell and go and see a Woody Allen movie. Philip Chisholm was caught later that night and was sentenced to 40 years in prison.
That's why the dog was barking.
Armed with 4...
What was that?
Disturbing body facts that will ruin your day. Babies are born with 300 bones, but adults only have 206. How does that even work? Next, did you know that your heart can beat outside of your body? And speaking about your heart, it pumps with enough pressure that it can squirt blood 30 feet across a room. And if your cheeks start blushing, that means your stomach lining is blushing too. And on average, we find enough in one day to fill up a party balloon. And finally, grinding your teeth can put the equivalent of 900 pounds of force on your teeth. That's like 5 fully grown adults standing on your teeth. So if you grind your teeth at night, try and get a mouth guard to save your teeth.
Damn. Don't grind your teeth, bro.
What is the deepest part of the ocean? It's referred to as the Mariana Trench. It's located in the western Pacific Ocean, east of the Mariana Islands. The maximum known depth right now is 36,000 feet, and that area is known as the Challenger Deep. The depth is actually hard to imagine. If you place Mount Everest at the bottom of the trench, the peak of the mountain would still be underwater by at least a mile. As you can imagine, there's an intense amount of pressure and zero sunlight at the bottom of the trench. Yet in 1960, there were shrimp, fish, and other organisms found. 2016 research showed that the chemical makeup of crustacean deep in the trench had elevated PCB levels, which is a really bad chemical toxin. In 2019, plastic bags, candy wrappers, and carbon-14 from a nuclear bomb testing was found in bodies of animals at the bottom of the trench. Like and follow for more videos like these.
Oh. Isn't that kind of scary, man? I wonder what's in the Mariana Trench, bro. I can even imagine what creatures are floating down beneath.
Do not watch this video at night. Back in 2015, a man was taking care of his friend's uncle who had dementia. On the first night, he made dinner and called him over to eat, but he didn't hear him say anything. He went to his room to check on him, but the door was locked. He said dinner's ready, but his response was a grunt. He didn't think anything of it, so he walked upstairs to go and sleep in the guest room. On the second night, he made dinner again, so he went to get his friend's uncle. He walked to his room, but this time the door was wide open and he wasn't inside. He didn't really think anything of it, so he just walked upstairs to go to sleep. He turned the lights off, got into bed, and that's when he heard a noise coming from the closet. He quickly stood up, and that's when he screamed in horror. Like for part 2.
Disturbing facts about Disney that will leave you shocked. 18-year-old actress who voiced Snow White was paid less than $1,000 to do it. She also was not credited. The Pirates of the Caribbean ride at Disneyland used real skulls in its set design when it first opened.
actress who played Lilo in Lilo and Stitch also played Samara in The Ring. Part of your world was almost cut from The Little Mermaid because the chair of Walt Disney Studios was afraid that kids would think that the song was boring. Stan from Beauty and the Beast in the 1995 version was the first male villain in any Disney princess movie. After Finding Nemo came out, there was a problem with kids around the world flushing their fish down the toilet so that they could go back to the ocean. The music on the It's a Small World ride never, ever turns off. Follow for more facts.
Disturbing facts to keep you up all night. Part 1. Being the oldest person alive means that every human being who was alive at the day you were born has now died. Human teeth are actually strong enough to bite a finger off. The only thing stopping us is our brain. There is an ancient book full of strange symbols no one can translate. It's called the Voynich Manuscript. 14 years before the Titanic sunk, a book was published about an unsinkable ship that hit an iceberg and sank. The ship was called the Titan.
It was all right there in front of us, bro.
Disturbing facts about the Titanic you didn't know. Now, we all know the Titanic hit an iceberg in the middle of the night and sank. But did you know while the ship was sinking, the captain sent emergency signals that got picked up by two ships, the SS California, who was only around an hour away, and the RMS Carpathia, who was a few hours away. But for some reason, the Carpathia was the one to get there first and was able to save the passengers. Unfortunately, around 1,000 people ended up losing their lives. But if California had responded to the emergency call, they most likely would have gotten there sooner and been able to save almost everyone. And some people blame the captain of the California for all the death that happened on the Titanic. What do you think?
I never even knew that. What the hell? There was two of the ships in the vicinity?
Disturbing facts that will ruin your life. When whales reach a certain age, they will eventually be too weak to swim back to the surface for air, so they will just suffocate to death and eventually sink to the bottom of the ocean. When you die, you will be aware that you are dead until the moment your brain fully ceases function. When getting laser eye surgery, you can smell the parts of your eyes being shaved down. During the French Revolution, where the guillotine was introduced, the people to be executed fought to be first, as the blade would dull after multiple uses, and wouldn't cut a head clean off at the first attempt. If you're male, after you die, your loved ones can have a doctor electrocute your prostate to force you to ejaculate for sperm. Humans have enough bite power to bite off their own finger, bone and all. The only thing stopping us is our brain's natural safety factor. A deceased human body can take between 24 to 48 hours to decompress, releasing the remaining blood, urine, and fecal matter, depending on the situation, position, and method of death. If you die on a submarine, they put your body in the fridge with all the food. If not, up a torpedo tube. It's actually common that corpses will periodically burp, fart, gasp, groan as gases escape through the mouth and anus. When you get burned by electricity, it actually leaves marks shaped like lightning on your skin. Hit the plus sign if you want to learn more facts.
What you learning today?
The owner of this funeral home left suddenly one day in 2009 and never returned.
Wow.
3 weeks before, the owner had told her staff that there was something sinister within these walls and that they had to leave.
So they just up and bounced. She wasn't dealing with that.
She told them she had been working late and she saw the dead literally coming back to life before her very eyes.
So a zombie? What?
She never returned back to work or her home and was never seen again.
So she jumped off the face of the earth.
The funeral home now sits decaying and forgotten in time.
That's Eerie. She sent some.
She entered and won the Ugliest Woman in the World contest, but she was just trying to support her children. This is the story of Mary Ann Bevan. Mary was born in London, England in 1874 to a large family. Growing up, she was just like everyone else. She became a nurse and married her husband, Thomas Bevan, in 1903. The couple had a happy marriage and had 2 sons and 2 daughters before Thomas unexpectedly died in 1914. Soon after his death, Mary started showing signs of acromegaly, which is a disorder marked by the overproduction of growth hormones in the pituitary glands. Her hands and feet began to grow out of proportion, her forehead and lower jaw began to bulge outward, her nose grew larger, and her cheeks began to drag. With no husband, 4 kids, and finding it harder to keep a job because of her changing looks, Mary entered a Homeliest Woman contest and beat 250 other women. Her victory brought her to the attention of sideshow owners. Doctors said her condition would only continue to get worse, and since she had 4 kids to support, she decided to capitalize off her looks. She started traveling with attractions and appearing at fairs. In 1920, she answered an open advertisement from the Barnum and Bailey Circus that stated, "Wanted, ugliest woman, nothing repulsive, maimed, or disfigured. Good pay guaranteed and long engagement for successful applicant. Send recent photograph." She was invited to the Coney Island Dreamland Park, which at the time was the biggest sideshow attraction in the world. She performed next to some of the biggest attractions, and in 2 years in New York City, she made what would have been equivalent to $1.6 million today.
Damn.
She worked at Coney Island until her death in 1933 at the age of 59. Mary suffered humiliation over the last 25 years of her life, but she always fought so hard for her children. She never gave up, and that's amazing.
The most disturbing facts about Dance Moms. In Season 4, Episode 31 of Dance Moms, Chloe did one final solo for the Abby Lee Dance Company where she placed 5th, 1 spot ahead of Cameron, who was also part of the Abby Lee Dance Company.
Join me in congratulating Miss Chloe with that number 29, scoring from the Abby Lee Dance Company.
This then frustrated Abby as she wanted Cameron to beat Chloe.
I cannot believe that Chloe actually beat Cameron again. I don't know how she pulled it off.
Abby even makes fun of Chloe earlier in the episode and expects that she will spiral downwards into being a medical dancer rather than soaring, named after her solo.
Will she soar? Or will she continue to spiral downwards to be mediocre?
Chloe's mom Christy then suspects that Abby never wanted Chloe to win nationals. She instead wanted Cameron to beat Chloe.
Abby didn't care if Cameron won nationals. She wanted Cameron to beat Chloe, and she didn't. And Abby can't stand to lose.
This then frustrates Christy to the point where she confronts Abby and tells Abby that she was no one before these kids and that these kids put her name on the map.
Those 5 kids in there put your fat name on the map.
No.
You were no one before these kids.
Why do you say that?
Because you think putting a couple kids on Broadway makes you someone? And guess who made you a household name? Them.
From this clip, we can see that Abby said to Christy that Chloe was washed up, which makes Christy look like she was overreacting.
She has more glass in her little finger at 13 than you have in that big fat body at 45.
Chloe is finished! Your kid's washed up!
How dare you? Do you know anything about that kid? No!
However, the Dance Moms producers muted out what Abby really said in Abby's favor. Abby started yelling at Christy about Chloe and her dancing and made fun of Chloe's eye condition. Chloe has a lazy eye because of her medical condition, silent sinus syndrome. In this moment, Abby was actually yelling at Christy to get her kid's eyes fixed, instead of just saying that Chloe was washed up. Unfortunately, Chloe was in the back room this entire time and heard everything that Abby was saying to Christy.
We were at nationals. My mom was actually sticking up for one of my friends that I used to dance with. My dance teacher decided to start yelling at my mom about me. We were in the back room and we weren't supposed to be there, but we heard everything that was said. The crew that took care of the girls, they would always separate us from that, which was great. But I just happened to be listening and I heard everything she said, and they didn't show it on Dance Moms, and it still really said a lot, but she made fun of me. What she said was horrible.
And as we can see from this episode, Christy was absolutely heartbroken that Chloe heard.
You heard. As a mom, I can't sit by and watch this woman destroy my child anymore. Dance isn't worth it. Let's go, Chloe.
And they left Dance Moms and did not return until season 7.
That's crazy, bro. The Dance Moms, man. I've been seeing her memes everywhere, but I didn't know it got like that, bro. The actual kid heard it, man. I wonder if that was set up though. Those dance moms, man, they be anything for fame.
Can I show you a creepy video? No, because this one made me jump. Also, this one is special because it was uploaded 1 year ago today. And I would say this video is in my top scariest TikToks ever uploaded. This video was uploaded by Joshua Luke. He has a lot more scary videos on his page, so I recommend you check him out. But this one is my favorite. So he basically states that a bunch of creepy stuff has been happening to him, and in this particular video, another terrifying incident happens as he's laying on his bed. I'm just gonna show you the video. Here it is.
Dios mío, ¿qué es eso? ¿Hay alguien ahí? ¿Quieres algo? ¿Qué es eso? ¿Qué es eso? No inventes, ¿qué es eso? ¿Qué es? Se abrió, se abrió, se abrió, se abrió, se abrió, se abrió. Espérate, cálmate, cálmate, cálmate. ¿Hay alguien ahí? ¿Te podemos ayudar? ¿Necesitas algo? Dinos, dinos, somos alguien. Alúzame, alúzame, alúzame. Espera. Dinos, dinos, somos.
Okay, I saw that. Something was in that joint. I don't know what. Y'all saw that peak. Seekers, if you guys made it with me to the end of the video, thank you guys for supporting the channel. Please make sure you guys leave a thumbs up in this video. Comment down below if you guys learned anything new. Also, don't forget to hit that post notification bell so you always get notified when I upload my next videos. You guys are going to catch you in the next one, man. I'm out. Peace, YouTube.